How are you guys doing? This is Andrew at FloryPB, and this is going to be the video manual for the Fusion Elite and G5 Spec R board. I'm going to take the grips off just to get a better view of the LED. And all of the business is going to end up being on the other side for any of the dip switches you need to hit. We have two sets of dip switches here. Here's going to be a 4-pack, which is the standard 4-pack of dip switches here that are on every one of my boards. And this is the updated stuff with the 2 buttons. So there's another set of 6 dip switches over here that can be used to... And what that second set of switches does is it turns... It's your choice, but you can turn the I button into a battery cutoff button where it cuts the battery power to the marker so the battery can never be drained by the board in storage. So it's your choice. You can wire it to either be an I button where you just press it and you can turn the eyes on and off, or you can wire it to be a battery kill button, and then you would use your power button to cycle your eyes on and off as well. But right now the board is on. It's just in regular firing mode, and we have a forced shot if the eyes don't see anything. We just hold the trigger and it will shoot. When the eyes see something, they turn blue. When the breech is clear, it's green. If the eyes are dirty or malfunctioning and they don't see another space between the ball, it starts flashing blue, and what that means is you have an eye malfunction or your eye is dirty, and it will clear itself if the eyes start seeing themselves again, but if they don't, it will restrict your rate of fire down to 10 balls per second, and which probably are right anyway if you're playing 10, but if you're trying to shoot it faster, it'll restrict you down to 10 balls a second. On the other side, we're just going to turn that off for right now. Off with the power button. On the bottom, on the Fusions, the bottom button is the power button. We're going to go through our first set of dip switches, which is our standard 4-pack. Dip switch 1 is our anti-bolt stick. This is a pop-it, so we're going to have that off probably for most people. Dip switch 2, if you turn that off, it turns the eyes off to start. Dip switch 3 is your rate of fire cap with eyes off. I only have that on. And dip switch 4 is your tournament lock. When it's on, you can program the board. When it's off, you can't program it. So if you pull the trigger and you turn it on, it's just going to tell you your battery life. Hold it, and 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a full battery. Turn that back on, and we'll go over the base programming and then go over the new features after that. So to program the marker, we're going to hold the trigger and turn it on. And when the light starts flashing, we'll let go of the trigger. The first setting is green. This is our dwell. It's set to 12. The next setting is red. It's our rate of fire from 1 to 40. It's set to 10. Purple is next. This is our anti-mechanical bounce. This is if you're pulling the trigger very slow. It helps prevent bounce happening. Doesn't matter all that much now in ramping, in the ramping world, but when it was all uncapped semi, it mattered. It's just nice for it not to bounce. Next is teal. This is our ball and breech delay. So this is how long the ball has to have broken the eyes after it cleared it before it's going to let the marker fire. This is set at 3 milliseconds. It's half millisecond increments. 4 is firing mode. There are 4 firing modes on this marker. The first one is semi. Second one would be just traditional automatic. Third is NXL legal ramp, like modern legal ramp. And the fourth one is going to be a illegal, if you used it in a tournament, just parabolic ramp, where the faster you pull it, the more paint's coming out of it. Apologize, I'm a little under the weather. The next one is white. This is our incremental balls per second. So the red is our 1 to 40. This is 0.1 to 0.9 balls per second. So if you want to try to sneak up on that 10.5 a little bit, you could set 10.3 or whatever you want to. Next one is dwell. It's blue. Sorry, not dwell. This is debounce. It's blue. This is set at 5 milliseconds. You can bring it down if you want it to be bouncier, the trigger, or bring it up if it is bouncy for some reason. So if you want to change the setting, you're going to hold the trigger. When the light goes out, you can now program it by pressing the trigger the amount of times you want it to be. I'm going to put back to 12. It's going to rainbow to show you it did something. If you want to change a setting but you don't know what you had it set at originally, keep holding the trigger when you're doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you have to program what you want it to be. When you're done, you can just turn it off. And now we're in our regular play mode. So we're going to turn this off, and we'll show you the functions of the 6-pack of dip switches over here. Let me see if I can get this out of the way. So it's going to come from me with dip switches 1, 2, and 3 off, and dip switches 4, 5, and 6 on. Apologize. And what that means is that this is going to be acting as regular eyes on the top button. If we turn these 3 off, 4, 5, and 6, and we put 1, 2, and 3 on, this turns our I button into a kill button. So we got to hit our I button, and we turn the marker on. And at any point when we're done, if you hit that button, it's just killed the battery to the board. It's not going to turn back on until you press the button again. And turns it on. Now, if you're doing programming, you have to use the actual power button to turn it off to save what you programmed. But if you're just ending your play and you just kill the power, you can just kill the power with the top button now. And if this goes into a long storage, the battery is still going to have full charge, or it's not going to suck any of the battery down in storage. So I can only do this on the 2 button boards, 2 or more button boards, but it's just a feature, so it works with it's a feature that doesn't just work with my chip, it works with any chip, any of these old chips in this board. You can put a Tadao chip in or a Virtue chip in from a DM4, and it still does the same thing that way, and you can kill the power to it and just store it long term that way. So that's why I put that feature set in there. Yeah, that is the video manual for the DP Fusion Elite and the G5 Spec R. Not the regular G5, but the Spec R. Alright guys, Andrew at FloryPB. Thank you.